When we look at the school curriculum, obviously the content gets more complex as we go up the grade levels. 7-year-old children are learning content that's less complex than 17-year-old children or students, and that's reflected in the language of textbooks and the language of interaction in classes. And so complexity of language is endemic, or is central or intrinsic to the reality of the curriculum. The issue is whether the language has been made more complex than it needs to be to get across the content. And in many cases, it has been. Many textbooks are not well written. They use language that is more difficult to understand than it needs to be. We use passive voice a lot in textbooks, and that's not necessarily the easiest form of language to process. And so when we look at how we could make languages or make the content of textbooks more comprehensible to students, for all students, native speakers as well as second language learners, I think when we look at that, I think in 90% of cases, we could find ways of expressing the content much more clearly and much more accessibly than is currently the case. And textbook writers are not necessarily linguistically aware in the sense that they are looking at what makes for comprehensibility. They may be experts in their content area, geography, history, or whatever, but I think we need also to take the lens of linguistic comprehensibility and look at and edit textbooks for that.
If you have any more questions, contact us at support@binogi.se. And don't forget to subscribe.